What's up, guys? So I figured I'd record this real quick because I don't want to put it off for tomorrow. It's on my mind at night. So I was realizing today that I talk a lot. I talk a lot about like what's going on in my life with the people around me, about like who I'm dating, sleeping with, work, like what I'm working on, what my goals are, and everything. And I realized that this is probably something that's sabotaging me. And in multiple ways. So what it does is I think it inflates my ego. It causes me, if they're even liking and like validating me and stuff. And it can crush your ego too if they aren't into what you're doing. And that can both things are bad because you want to actually have something to show for, like, how much better is it to have accomplished something and then be able to talk about it versus your plans about something and either someone validates it and you don't actually go through with it because it's like, oh, well, I already feel good about it, I'll get to it eventually, I already know it's gonna be like, people already like it, versus even running it back, or someone crushing it and they're like talking you out of it. Like, that's terrible too. Nobody wants that. So those are two things about the ego. The other thing is about like how you don't know who those words that left your mouth and have now entered into the air. You don't know what your business where it's going to go, if it's going to reach the ears of somebody that you don't want it to, and what they may say or do with that information. For instance, let's say you're working at a company and you got plans to do something on your own, and you start telling your coworkers about that, you know, and you were planning on leaving it a little bit later down the line. Now, word could go around that you're planning on doing that. You get fired, um, or something. Maybe you don't know. I mean, I'm using a very like abstract idea, but my point is you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot and sabotaging yourself by doing that. Again, back about me. So at my work, I realized I was getting buddy buddy with one of my coworkers, and we're real cool. We hang out. We've gone out drinking and stuff like that, which is cool. But I noticed that it's kind of distracted me at work, and I've told them about the girls I'm dating, talking to, the numbers I've gotten, and not only is that making me unproductive, which is shooting myself in the foot, it also is creating um, a different culture that I do not want, and word to get around that about what's going on in my personal life, and I don't want that either. For instance, if I start sleeping with a girl, like a new girl or something, and now all of a sudden her business is out there that, hey, we've been sleeping together. You think she's gonna want to keep sleeping with me? Fuck no. Or you think she's gonna be coming around? Maybe not. Like, so, um, I'm happy that I realized this because I don't really want that for my life. And I have always been that person that's like wanting to share the experience, and that's where it was coming from, which might sound like a pure place, but at the end of the day, we don't know. We know where our intentions lie and what we talk about, but we don't know other people's intentions, and we don't know the consequences that may fall down the line of what we talk about and what we, um, whenever we're talking, like when we keep spreading our business, our personal lives. So that's just what was on my mind, and I just highly recommend. And this is obviously advice that I'm going to start taking myself, but I'm a very self aware person, and I cannot see how that could possibly benefit me by spreading my own information out there, my own personal life out there. I think that social media has done that, where it's made it very normal for people to constantly talk about what's going on in their lives. Personally, I know I have someone who's very close to me, actually family, that she talks a lot about like what's going on, at least like in her career life, and And I know that can be, I know like sometimes it can feel like it's too much, and I'm happy for her and everything, but now that just makes me think about, okay, now how is it coming off of when I'm always talking about me to other people? So I cannot, back to what I was just saying, I cannot see it being beneficial in any way for my career, for my personal life with dating and everything, to get my business out there, even with clients. So back when I was personal training privately, I'm thinking about it right now that if there was someone who's maybe not happy with their job and they're hearing that, hey, I'm also building a brand based off what I'm doing with personal training, for all I know, one of my clients could have dropped off just off that, even subconsciously, thinking, hey, I'm here. I am working at this job that I don't like, and this motherfucker that I'm paying is using the money that I'm paying him to build his business. Like some people would, even though they can see that, hey, they're getting a benefit out of it, they may actually want to change their mind about it because, like, hey, they see that if it's gonna end up pushing you too far forward ahead of them, and they may not like that. People can be very selfish, and I think that the way that we can really protect ourselves is to protect our tongue. And that was actually I don't I happened to watch a video that was kind of talking about this stuff, and I think it's true that, like, we control what we talk about, we control what we share. And I remember this from something I had heard, with communication and interviews and stuff like that. But basically, that the person who asks questions in a conversation controls the conversation. The person asking the questions controls the conversation, and that's totally true. So I think that whenever someone's asking about us, we can always flip it around and then ask another question, go on a tangent. Just let's get off this topic because I want to, there's a boundary here, and I really don't want to talk about what's going on in my personal life. So that's what I was thinking about. These are just some things that were on my mind. I'm gonna get better at these videos. This is probably like my fifth one or something ever, and but I do think that it makes sense to use that energy towards our goals. And even if it does seem like just lighthearted conversation, it's gossip. It doesn't help anything. It's the potential for good. It seems marginal at best, and it just does not seem worth it. Like let's say I would want girls to know that I'm dating other girls. They're gonna know by the way that I carry myself, the way that they see that I'm busy, and that I'm not calling them all the time. You're not calling them all the time. I don't need to go putting it on social media. I don't need to go telling everybody about this shit. So I think we really do got to think about who's really in our corner, and to know that not everybody will be. And we got to make our lives, our goals, our vision priority. And the way that we do that is by, taking those actions that will get us there and doing everything to protect the process of us getting there, and not letting things distract us or possibly inhibit us from getting there as fast as and efficient as possible. So those are just some of my thoughts. I hope you guys are all doing great, and yeah, protect your dreams, protect your life. You got to make the most of it, right? See ya.